Welcome to this DelftStack tutorial. Today we will discuss how to apply a function to multiple columns in a Pandas DataFrame. Let's dive in. In our tutorial, we are going to use a Jupyter Notebook to explain the code, but feel free to use any sort of alternative tool as per your convenience. Let's start by discussing what is a Pandas DataFrame in Python. In Python, a Pandas DataFrame is a two-dimensional tabular data structure. It's essentially the Python equivalent of a spreadsheet or a SQL table. Its key features are the following. It is dimensional because in a tabular format with rows and columns. Data frames are also size mutable, which means we can easily add, delete, or modify rows and columns. They can also be potentially heterogeneous, meaning different columns can hold different data types, and having a labeled axes for both rows and columns have labels makes it easier to access and manipulate data. Data frames are widely used because they provide a wide range of functions for data cleaning, transformation, and analysis. They also work seamlessly with other Python libraries like NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib. In our example, we have created a data frame which has 4 columns A, B, C, and D. These 4 columns contain integer values. There are a total of 3 rows, and we can see the default index starts from 0. Function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. The define keyword defines a function in Python, followed by the function name, parentheses for arguments. We create a function that takes an integer and adds 1 to it. Let's now see how we can use the apply function from the Pandas library to apply a given function to the columns of a data frame. We will apply the function x created earlier to our sample data frame. We create a new DataFrame object df1. We use the apply function from the Pandas library and apply it to the original DataFrame. In the parameters, we specify the function x in axis value as 1. Remember, axis as 1 is very crucial because we want to apply the function x to every column, which means the function will be applied to every row of the column. If we specify the value of axis as 0, then it will do the opposite. Then we print the DataFrame df1 and we can see that the function x has been applied to each column since the value is incremented by 1. We can also press Shift plus Tab on a Jupyter Notebook to know more about the function. We can see about all the available parameters and documentation of the function. It also has examples which can be of help. Let's now tackle a slightly difficult task. Imagine we want to apply a function to only first 2 columns. Say we want to take the sum of the values in the first 2 columns and store its result in a new column. For this, we will need to create a new function. We create this function called x2, which takes an argument and returns the sum of the first 2 values of the argument. We now need to apply this method to the existing data frame and store the result in a new column. Let's call this new column as E. Again, remember that axis has to be specified as 1. We display the result and can clearly see that the new column E is the sum of the first 2 columns. This illustrates how you can use the apply method with a custom function to perform calculations and create new columns in a Pandas DataFrame. To summarize, this tutorial demonstrated how to apply a custom function to the Pandas DataFrame. We can use the apply function discussed in the video with Lambda and built-in functions as well. Remember to ensure that the data type required for the function matches with the values of the data frame. Otherwise, it will return an error. For example, in our example, if the data type of the data frame values were string, then an error would have occurred. Also, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such tutorials. Also, check out the website DelftStack.com for articles on Python tutorials.